Skyrim used to be cool. Now what on earth do I mean by that? Isn't it still cool, but you still make all the builds? Of course the game is cool, Elder Scrolls games are obviously awesome and we are still very much in love with them. I am talking about the province Skyrim, the place, the home of the Nords. It used to be cool. Well, I guess it still is cold, well, freezing actually, but the place used to be cool, and I mean really cool. It was home to pretty much the first empire of man on Tamriel, the empire of Skyrim, and we aren't talking about the empire that is in Skyrim now, not those tanned, wine-sipping, skirt-wearing ponces. We are talking about hardy Nords, the not-quite-barbarians of the north. Nords of the First Era got shit done. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Scott from FudgeMuppet, and today I have for you a lore video all about the Ysgramor dynasty and the sickest and coolest part of Skyrim's history. In modern times, in the Fourth Era, Skyrim comes across as a bit of a backward place, a frozen land of barbarians and squabbling jarls with bandits everywhere in between. Not like the superior, civilized heartland of Cyrodiil, some would say, but Skyrim was actually home to the very first empire of man, and the Ysgramor dynasty was incredibly successful. Skyrim's domain stretched from the lands in High Rock through Skyrim into parts of Cyrodiil and into Morrowind. As you can see, their empire grew to be rather large, and quite frankly, they seemed to be dominating many of their elven neighbors at the time, including the Dwemer, Chimer, Durrani, and Aelids. So you're probably quite familiar with the story of Ysgramor, but to quickly bring you up to speed, Ysgramor comes to Skyrim from Atmora, builds a city, snow elves get pissed, slaughter them. Ysgramor and his two sons escape back to Atmora, they come back with 500 companions and murder all of the snow elves, claiming Skyrim and establishing a dynasty that would last centuries. So that's him, but what happened after that? After their little snow elf slaughter sesh? Well, not too much. Windhelm became the capital, they spent a few more decades killing the rest of the snow elves, but come the First Era, shit gets exciting. Harold was born in the 113th year of the First Era and became the first High King of all Skyrim in the First Era year 143. He was the 13th child in the line of Ysgramor. Harold also officially relinquished all his holdings in Atmora, truly separating the two places. That means it was practically Facebook official. Skyrim is now a separate, distinct nation. Harold reigned for 78 years, dying at the ripe old age of 108. Pretty impressive for a human, and he also spent some time clearing out more snow elves in the area of Lake Honric, what is now known as the Rift. So that's your boy Harold, but don't worry, Harry was just warming up. His son Hjalmar became king for a hot second, warming the seat, and dying 1 year later of unknown causes, making the way for his younger brother Varager. Now, this Vraga fellow didn't have the audacity to die 1 year into his reign like his brother did. Instead, he took it to new limits. Vraga the Gifted, as he was known, in the year 240 of the First Era began the Skyrim conquests, a ruthless military campaign resulting in the expansion of Nordic control, and within a span of only 50 years, the Empire of Skyrim controlled pretty much all of northern Tamriel, including most of High Rock, Skyrim of course, all of Morrowind, and right down into the Heartland, grabbing a big part of the Nibene Valley. An absolute legend. Now, later on, we had the King Gelo, who spent his time expanding the Empire, employing his abilities as a master tactician when conquering more Dwemer cities. Even those powerful Dwemer fell to his armies, but like all good stories and golden ages of peoples in Tamriel, it has to end someday, and that end came along with the reign of King Borgus. In all honesty, he kinda ruined everything. He is famous for outlawing the old Nordic pantheon, which by the way was the far more hardcore and more awesome pantheon of the Nords, including gods like Kine, Shor, and Alduin. I mean, they literally had a god called Stun, a precursor to the divine Stendarr, but he was no god of mercy. Stun was the god of, wait for it, the god of ransom, as in taking prisoners of war and ransoming them back to their relatives. That is straight up hardcore. Anyways, Borges bins the cool gods in favor of their more contemporary and more palatable Elysian counterparts. And also in a war with the Bosmer, he got himself thrashed and killed by the Wild Hunt, where the Bosmer turned into a bunch of fearsome wild creatures and massacred the crap out of him. Borges' death in the year 369 of the First Era marks the end of the Isgramor dynasty and the beginning of the fall of the Empire in Skyrim, as after his death a war of succession ensued, followed by Skyrim's enemies taking advantage of the internal strife. The Durrani in High Rock began claiming back the rest of High Rock and even claiming parts of Skyrim, and in 416 of the First Era, the Nords were expelled from Morrowind during the First Battle of Red Mountain, their defeat at the hands of the combined Dwemer and Kai'ma army. By the time they sought themselves out in the year 420 of the First Era, ending the War of Succession with the Pact of the Chieftains, Skyrim had lost the majority of territory it had claimed during the Skyrim conquests, leaving them with pretty much the same amount of land that they have today. Olaf One-Eye is crowned king, and the rest is history. But you see, Skyrim used to be cool, and I mean really cool. They dominated pretty much all of northern Tamriel, they kicked the asses of the Snow Elves, the Durrani Elves, Aelids, Kai'ma, and even the advanced Dwemer. These fearsome warriors, often dismissed as wild, mere barbarians, had control of all of Morrowind, most of High Rock, and even parts of Cyrodiil. And remember, most of this territory was conquered within 50 years, so kudos to them. And they also had a sick pantheon that King Borges had to go and get rid of. A First Era Skyrim is something I would really love to see, and I actually think the First Era has some of the most interesting lore in the Elder Scrolls, but one thing can be said for sure. The Nords of old were super badass and smear the walls with the likes of Ulfric and Bulgraf. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I say Skyrim used to be cool. I hope you all enjoyed this video. We love doing little lore pieces like this, giving you some insights that you may or may not have heard before, but either way, smack the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more sexy, sensational, super cool lore videos here on FudgeMuppet. Social media links are in the description. My name is Scott from FudgeMuppet, and I'll be back to nerd out with you again next time.